So looking at the saddles, sometimes they're funky. Take your sandpaper, fold it in half, and pull the string out of the groove. And there's your groove. Take your sandpaper and go in and out and clean your groove. And on the treble strings, you'll need to just make one fold so it's fine enough to get the funk out of it. It makes a difference in the sound, and if you're breaking strings, it'll stop you from breaking strings. So then you tune your string up to pitch. And to stretch it, put your finger on the 12th fret. Pull the string firmly, like 4 or 5 times. That's it. That's all you gotta do. With the treble strings, you can put your finger on the 5th fret and pull up, and put on the 12th fret and pull up, as they need a little bit more stretching. Alright, so get the guitar in tune, always using your front pickup to tune. Also very important. Because you don't have any oscillation interference like you do in the back pickup. So you get a good tune where it sounds. Okay, then we do our little adjustments. So next thing we do is we check our neck adjustment. So you put your finger on the 1st fret, put your other finger on the 12th fret, and take your pinky and put it on the 5th fret. We're looking for the distance between the string and the fret. Generally, it's like a thick guitar pick is some relief, and a thin guitar pick is for people who like straight necks. So, you know, I prefer straighter necks, so it's very little distance between the string and the fret. A lot of the guitars out there will have a lot of distance, so you need to tighten up the truss rod. It's very important. This is a critical adjustment on the tone of the guitar, because the tighter the truss rod, generally the better the tone. And the fretting out and the way the guitar buzzes has everything to do with the truss rod. So when adjusting the truss rod, using the Truss Rod Adjustment tool, put your left hand under the neck and take your tool, holding the neck firmly, and put it in so it's correctly seated, and then we're tightening it. And always really hold it and do it carefully. If it's really tight and you can't really get a good feeling about turning it, don't force it. On the Les Paul, I like the tailpiece all the way against the body if possible. It's important that the distance of the space between the bridge and the string, that there is some clearance, that you can get like a thin guitar pick in between. If it's hitting the bridge, bring the tailpiece up until there's a little bit of clearance on it. So we've got our action set at 3/32 on the low string and about 2 to 3/32 on the treble string, depending on how you like your action. I like my action low without buzzing, but a little bit of buzz on a Les Paul is allowed because it's kind of that squanch sound and it works well. And now we're going to check our intonation. Hitting the harmonic on the 12th fret, see where your intonation is at. Pressing firmly on the fret as if you were playing, this is sharp. So when it's sharp, it needs to come back towards the tailpiece. When it's flat, it needs to come forward towards the pickup. When doing the intonation on a Les Paul, you need to be really careful because these screws are very vulnerable to being damaged. So taking a good proper fitting screwdriver, putting it in the slot firmly, you want to rotate the saddle backwards. I recommend using WD-40 to lubricate your screws before you do the intonation, therefore making the intonation easier and less likely to damage the heads of the screws. And the final adjustment that we do is the pickup adjustment. And you want to play the guitar in the front pickup first. And looking at the pole pieces here, these individual adjustments, these should be staggered a little bit so that, you know, the middle ones are up higher. a little bit because of the curved fingerboard. Be careful when doing this, because if you slip, you'll scratch your pickup cover. So play each string, and you'll hear some of them are not as loud as others. You want it even. So the G is a little bit loud, so I would put it down a 1/16 of a turn on that, and the B, and the E I would leave where it was because it was right. So that's weak. So bring that one up. Holding guitar firmly, screwdriver firm, make sure you got a good fit, and then bring it up. And they can be stubborn, so be careful. And we want to have the distance between the pole piece on the front pickup should be about 2/30 seconds. So, 2 to 3/30 seconds is where you want the front pickup. And that's to taste, because a lot of times, that's where I like it. But if you lower it, it gets cleaner. So the lower the pickup, the cleaner the sound. Then you want to balance it in the middle. And then proceed to your back pickup. So the G's jumping, so we push that in a little bit. And then the E was weak, and we bring that up. And we do it again. Still weak on the E, so we bring that up a little more. Working about, half to eighth, quarter turns, depending on what you need. All right, we got this guitar dialed. It sounds great, and it's a big improvement. And I really appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next time on Guru Guitar Spot.